Podcasting is networking. Cafe Networking Podcast promotes entrepreneurs, startups, authors, business experts throughout the world. I'm Tom Riak, known as the King of Networking, connecting people and speaking from my studio in Vinhedo, São Paulo, Brazil. And today we talk with Yuval Zimerman, and he's joining us from Israel. Yuval is an entrepreneur, a marketing guru with 15 years experience doing cool and exciting projects. His experience has taken him both to low and high-tech endeavors, most recently taking international acclaim Air Doctor, now an international brand. Yuval has headed the marketing department since Air Doctor launched in 2018, helped bring the company several funding rounds and tens of thousands of active customers. So Yuval, tips to our audience. How do you build a brand?
First and foremost, thank you for having me on the show, Tom, and thanks for that great introduction. And by the way, I love how you can transition to a Portuguese accent when you say where you're at and then back to the American accent. I think that's fabulous.
Thank you.
So Air Doctor is a startup that connects international travelers to local doctors all over the world. We connect them through clinic visits, home visits, hotel visits, telemedicine. We basically have that covered. So as a traveler, when you're sick abroad, especially in a country that does not speak your language,
right,
you can find a doctor easily without any of those pain points of anxiety, frustration, not knowing what to do. And that's basically what we came to do, help the international traveler navigate the medical system when they fall ill abroad.
Well, I've used that in my past. I needed that. I didn't say I used that because in my past traveling, and you talk to pain points, when you do have pain somewhere outside of your habitat, your normal country where you stay, and you need help, it's very difficult. First of all, you don't speak the language. And even to explain what you have is difficult.
Yeah, it's even in this, I've had problems. I remember I live abroad now, so when I went to the States, I was in Hawaii, and I needed to see a doctor just for something very simple.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me 3 hours in the ER just to get the doctor to inject me with some pain relief. And then it took him a second to charge me $1,000 for nothing.
Right.
So it's definitely a problem. But so we're here to talk about the brand building, and I want to start by saying that a brand does not have to be huge to be a brand. You don't need to be Under Armour to be a brand. You don't need to be Coca-Cola to be a brand. A brand can be a lemonade stand on the side of the street, right? If it's the lemonade stand and everyone goes to it, that's a brand name. And that's the first thing that people have to understand, that to have a brand, you don't have to be huge. Any size of a company, you can have a brand. The second thing you have to understand is you have to have a valuable product or a service to have that brand. I mean, if you're just like, oh, let's use marketing and create a great brand, it's not going to work because the business works with the brand. So if you have that valuable product, that service that people need, then you can start creating that brand. And it works together with differentiating yourself. You have to differentiate yourself in thought, in mission, in purpose, in product, in order to stand out and be able to market yourself properly to become that brand. Now, differentiation should be done on two fronts, like I said before. So first there's the product or the service. You have to have either, let's say, better quality, okay? Or let's say you want to reach the masses for low cost products, so then you just have to be cheap. Or you have to have a niche audience. So let's say, for example, for us, right? We're competing against no one right now, really, because we differentiated ourselves. There's ZocDoc in the United States. Right. There's Practo in India. There's Doctify. There's Doc Planner. There's millions of domestic apps out there that connect the domestic population to the doctors. But there's no one that does that, or now there's starting to be a few, but very small, but to connect the international traveler to the doctor. So again, it's differentiating your niche market in order to get in front of the people that you want to. Then you have to right? Then you have to, after you have that differentiation, then you have to market it.
Right.
And market comes from either, not either, it comes with creating awareness, building trust, preaching your differences, and giving free, right, in quotation marks, valuable product or service. Now, to make it clear, free is never free. A brand needs to see itself in the future and not just in the present. Now, the lifetime value of a customer is way more important than the one-off payment.
Mm-hmm.
So by giving real valuable stuff, whatever it might be, and for free, it's actually a marketing cost. You're not giving out something for free. You're paying for marketing. And that will bring people back to you.
Right.
And not necessarily the first time they'll start buying stuff, but they'll come to you again and again, and they'll tell their friends and their family. And that way you start building the brand by giving valuable things, valuable services, products, information, whether it be content, videos, actual parts of the service or product, and then you start building the brand.
Or just a statement. I checked out the site, which is air-dr.com, and the first thing that comes to sight is a statement that you make to the Ukrainians, and literally offering service to persons that are definitely in need, right, for something that's happening right this instant and has been for the last days, offering that to them free and something that they need, and then offering them to get in with any language. No, I'm not saying it's any language, but inputting which language they would like to have the answer in. So I think that's fantastic. To be able to do that right now, and that's almost instantly, if we can say, that's an investment on the brand. But you're helping a service, you're helping the real pain that's out there.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that part up. We came out, of course, it brings organic people to us because of what we're doing. We're really helping out, but we're out there really trying to help the people in need. So, there's millions and millions of Ukrainian refugees all over the world right now,
right.
And they don't have the basic needs of medical assistance. And we came and we said, we have a telemedicine service that can give them what they need, the basic needs, even give prescriptions in several different countries around the world. So Air Doctor pretty much comes and gives a free service to Ukrainian refugees or inside Ukraine with a telemedicine service with doctors that can provide prescriptions, and they can go and get them. And this is free of charge for any Ukrainian. And we really believe in that value. And of course, if it brings other people to come and use the service for us to help them as well, then great. But if not, then also great. We want to be there to help people who need it.
Well, in itself, that's a value statement. You're saying who you are. You're saying what the company is.
Yeah. And that comes to my next point, where it's how you portray something. So, I said you have to preach your differences. So you have to think of yourself as a company inside out, right? And there's a very famous speaker out there, Simon Sinek. I'm sure you know him, heard of him. And he had, back in the day, he had a very famous TED Talk, and I love it. I love seeing that TED Talk, but he really put out why you should go, instead of saying what, how, why, you should go why, how, and what. And I think it's priceless. So people connect with ideas and feelings more than they do with logic or fact, right? So there's two examples, right? Two companies are selling a computer, which is exactly the same, right? It has the same specs, just different brand, but exactly the same specs. Now, company A comes to the advertising, comes to you as the potential buyer, and says to you the following: we have a beautifully designed and compact computer built by the best and smartest to help you get your work done on time and enjoy more of what's really important in life. Want to buy one? Right? Now that's A. Now that goes with what, how, and then why. Now switch that around inside out. And that might have been, and a lot of companies pitch like that, and that's fine. Oh, wow, that's a cool computer. Now look at exactly, almost like 90% the same words, just inside out. Company B comes to you and sells to you. Imagine you could get your work done faster and enjoy more of what's really important in life. using the best and the smartest. We built a beautifully designed and compact computer that can help you do just that. Want to buy one? Which one would you buy from?
Well, I'm going to buy anything that Simon sells. Because I have his book, and I read his book, and he once said that all marketers are liars. So, but in a sense, no, and the book's important to understand, but it's exactly to your point of how we need to transmit what is being said. Because years ago, everything was technical. It was how it worked. And today, we don't need to know anymore how it works. You just expect it to work. But it's the soft side that you just mentioned that is the attraction point. And to that point, what you're offering out there on Air Doctor, it's a hard need. It's a soft approach to a very hard need. If we can say that.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. Yuval. Unfortunately, we're coming to the end of our time.
Okay.
I want to thank you, and I want to congratulate you on Air Doctor, and again, congratulate all at the company for what you're doing at this time of need, global need for the Ukrainians, okay?
Thank you. Thank you very much for having us.
No, thanks again. And remember, you can find more about Yuval Zimerman on LinkedIn, and it's Yuval. The last name is Zimerman. And also airdoctor.com. It's AIR-DR.com. airdr.com. Cafe Networking is brought to us by Focus MI Market Intelligence, an agricultural market research specialist in Brazil. More information on their website, focusmi.com. Thanks for listening. Until the next time here at Cafe and Networking Podcast.